Thank you and welcome to Carter Park. We're so happy to be back outdoors after a couple of weeks of, being inside due to the weather, but we couldn't ask for a more perfect day than this for an outdoor concert and for the night out downtown. So we're so glad you joined us. We know you had a lot of entertainment choices tonight. You could have been at Gillette Stadium with Beyonce, but you chose to be here with us, and we hope to reward you for that choice tonight. We began with Sousa's March, The Gladiator, and we followed that with a rousing rendition of Gioacchino Rossini's overture to La Gazza Ladra. In English, La Gazza Ladra means the thieving magpie. And I'll let you Google that and see what the opera was all about. Rossini was famous for writing overtures that really had nothing to do with the music in his own opera. In other words, he would compose completely different music for the overture. If you go to a Broadway show today, you hear the overture, it's all songs you're going to hear later in the show, right? The same thing with operas. You know, the overture usually presages the music you're going to hear later on. Rossini didn't believe in that. He wrote his own thing. And his overtures are just classics. You know, Barber of Seville, La Gazza Ladra. This is one the band never had in its library. We acquired it just this year, so this is really the first time we've performed it. And you'll hear it again. We like this music, or at least I do. Do you like it? I don't know. So we're going to continue with some more music I like. This is the theme song to the 1950s television show, The Adventures of Superman. Now, we're all accustomed to the Superman movies. It's easy to forget that the very first iteration of Superman outside of the comics was this television show that starred George Reeves and I forget the woman who played Lois Lane, and the guy who played Jimmy Olsen, who's Jack Larson, who also later became a great director. Anyway, it had great music, but that show was produced on a very slim budget. You know, they didn't waste any money. That was before Hollywood was big money, and this show was produced on a dime, and it was done by a company called Ziv Productions, and it was such that they used what's called in the film industry library music, which is music that is written without copyright, so that the producers can use it and not have to license it, not have to pay for it, essentially. Because of that, the theme song went uncredited because everyone assumed it was library music, and it wasn't. It had actually been composed by someone, and his name was... thank you. It's at the tip of my tongue. Leon Klatskin, and it's pretty good music, and I decided, I think it was about 10 years ago, that I would try to transcribe it for the band so that we could play it, and this is what it sounds like. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman! Back in 2009, we lost our previous conductor, E. Vincent Bichelia, and when he passed away, his family generously donated all of the donations made in Vinnie's memory to the band, which we used specifically for to commission a new composition for concert band. And we hired a composer who at the time lived in Ohio. He was at the time the director of the Ohio State University marching band. And he's a well-known composer in concert band circles. He's published hundreds of works for band and for orchestra. And he was excited about the commission because it just so happened he was going to be traveling to Spain, and what Vinnie's family and the band had decided together was that we wanted to have something with a Spanish flavor, because Vinnie was all about Spanish culture and loved bullfighting and Spanish music. So when we proposed this to David Schaefer, the composer, he was excited about it. He went to Spain, he studied a little bit about the music, and he came up with this composition. We premiered it at our Christmas concert that year, and he came up with quite a nice piece of music. This has been published by the C.L. Barnhouse Company, so concert bands all over the world, it's available to them. And if you go on YouTube, you can hear bands I've seen performances of this on YouTube from the St. Petersburg Conservatory in Russia, a band in Portugal has a video up there playing it, a band in Hawaii playing it, and school bands from all over. So we're quite proud that this legacy to Vinnie lives on and is being played all over the world. And it's ours. We brought it to the world. So thank you to the Bichelia family. And here is Costa del Sol. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors, which include the City of Leominster, Office of Mayor Dean Mazzarella, the Music Performance Trust Fund in cooperation with the American Federation of Musicians, Local 173 in Fitchburg, and I have been remiss in not explaining what the Music Performance Trust Fund is. And Bill, you reminded me Sunday when you did it in Fitchburg. It made me realize I hadn't explained this. But for those of you who don't know what the Music Performance Trust Fund is, and I would expect that would be many of you, every time you purchase a CD, I don't know if anybody's buying CDs anymore, but vinyl LPs, MP3s that you purchase from Amazon or Spotify or wherever you buy your music, a small percentage of that purchase goes into this fund, which makes free performances like this available throughout the US and Canada. And it's administered through the American Federation of Musicians, which is the musicians union that we all belong to. And it's been going on for 70-something years, since the 1940s. So they've been a long-time sponsor of these concerts, and it got a little dicey about 6 or 7 years ago, but they finally renegotiated with the record companies and the film companies, and now the fund is healthy again. And the other sponsors are the Leominster Cultural Commission through a grant from the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Our corporate sponsor, AIS, Affordable Interior Systems. They're way down Lancaster Street on Tucker Drive there, and they are makers of fine furniture for the office. So if you need cubicles or credenzas or whatever it is for your office, they're the people to go to, and they have a lot of experience. I understand they outfitted the Jacob Javits Convention Center in New York City several years ago, so if they can do the Javits Center, if you've been there, you know how big it is, they can do your office. And tell them we sent you. And we also want to thank all of our sponsors who are listed on the program, and this is certainly not to belittle in any way our other sponsors, but believe it or not, you people are the ones that make all of this tick. The big sponsors, they make the band's salary happen. And that's no small thing, even though it's no big thing either. But when we go and do special things, like we purchase special music for a special event, like when we did the Burt Bacharach concert a couple of weeks ago, that was an expensive concert to do. And, oh, thank you, Burt Bacharach fan. If you liked that concert, it was because you made it possible through your donations, so we thank you very much for that. If you're inclined to become a sponsor, there's an address on the back of the program. You can send your donations. One generous person brought us a check up to the stage tonight, so we'll take them in person too. Although I don't think we're supposed to. Yeah? Oh, okay. The Music Performance Trust Fund also comes with rules. We can't charge admission in any way, so shh. Anyway, we want to thank the Office of the Mayor, Dean Mazzarella, and his staff for assistance with the logistics at Carter Park and City Hall, and the volunteers of the Leominster Emergency Management for providing handicapped parking and safe crossing on Main Street. So thank you out there. Yeah. And we just want to remind you that we'll be back here, hopefully here, next week, not indoors, with our season finale, and we have lots of fun music next week. We'll be doing Arthur Pryor's The Whistler and His Dog. If you've never heard that before, it's worth the price of admission. And we'll be doing Tchaikovsky's Caprice Italienne. We also have Instant Concert on the docket. And if you were at the Fitchburg Military Band concert on Sunday, you heard it, so you get to hear it again. And lots of other great things next week, including a surprise for my sister, so don't tell her. We continue with some Italian music. This is Domani, which means tomorrow. That, of course, was Malaguena, the great Latin piece by Ernesto Lecuona, who was, I believe, Mexican. Cuban, excuse me. I'll have to find that out. We're going to continue with the music of Scott Joplin, who was not Cuban. This is one, I always like to brag about how we source music from all over the world. And this is a great example. This is an American piece of music that we got from an Israeli arranger. Tovi Meshulam. He's a trombonist and a composer and arranger and educator in Jerusalem. I think he conducts the Jerusalem Academy of the Arts, if I'm correct about that. Anyway, he wrote this arrangement, and We like it a lot. So here's the music of Scott Joplin, a little ragtime for you. This is The Easy Winners. Okay, before we do our next number, I just want to announce there's a birthday in the house. And that would be Ron Girouard, who works for LTV, and he's taping these concerts for us and has been for a long time. Yeah. So those of you who watch us from the comfort of your living room in, on Graham Street or in Argentina, you have Ron to thank. So we have Ron to thank as well. So happy birthday, Ron. We're going to send this one out to you because I'm pretty sure you enjoy film music and Disney music. And if you don't, what the hell? Happy birthday anyway. So this is our birthday salute to Ron Girouard, the music of Mary Poppins, written by the Sherman brothers, Bobby and Richard. And you're going to hear all the favorites from the original Mary Poppins, not that one from a couple of years ago. I don't know where that came from. But this is the good one. Next, we have one by a composer whose music we don't play enough. His name was Claire Grundman, and he wrote some classic works for concert band. And, he's one of those writers, like Alfred Reed, who wrote the arrangement of the Mary Poppins medley. Alfred Reed was also a legendary composer for concert band, one of the real respected people in his field. And Claire Grundman was an equal to Alfred Reed, and the stuff that he wrote was particularly, it just came out so nice and so natural. It's really fun to play, and I think it's enjoyable to listen to. And this is a composition that Claire put together of all sailing songs, and he calls it Fantasy on American Sailing Songs. It's been a long tradition here to include polkas in our programs, and somehow we hadn't gotten to one yet this summer. So we're going to bring you the Emilia Polka by Louis Vitek, and we'll dedicate that to the person thereafter. This is the no, actually we're going to dedicate this to my Uncle Emil, my late Uncle Emil, who used to love it when we played a polka here, and he could be seen grabbing whatever available woman was here, and he would polka around the bandstand. So this is to Uncle Emil, the Emilia Polka. Thank you. We're going to throw in one that isn't on the program. This is the music of film composer Bill Conti. And if you enjoyed the movie Rocky, this was the theme song, Gonna Fly Now. How about drum solo by Jason? We want to remind you we'll be back here next Tuesday night, weather permitting. And if weather doesn't permit, you'll be able to find us at Leominster City Hall. But we'll pray for more weather like this, because this is perfect. And we have a very special program with our season finale, Carmen Dragon's beautiful arrangement of America the Beautiful. So you'll definitely want to be there. And we want to throw in a plug for our annual Christmas concert. It's not too early to be thinking about that. And that's going to be Sunday, December 10th at Leominster City Hall Auditorium. And we promise to have a very special program for that afternoon as well. So we thank you for being with us. Thanks for following us outside again. And it's good to be back at the park. We conclude with Irving Berlin's God Bless America.
Thank you.